but it's through your academics as well. So if you're on here and you aren't a sportsman, that's okay. We can help you with your academics and get you over as an academic student. If you are a cultural student, if you are a performing arts student, we are also involved in those scholarships. We're not specialists in it, but we can help you 100%. So yeah, great stuff. You will see Gavin Bennett is online as well. He is one of our South African representatives. He's recruiting in South Africa. And then the other South African representative that you will talk to is an ex-Jeppe boy, actually, and it's Warren from Bloemfontein, and he is also recruiting and admin manager. So he'll be looking at helping you with your admin stuff if you do register with BRUSA Sports. Okay. So yeah, again, thank you very much for coming through. Let's start the presentation. So, guys, a quick one. As you can hear, I am from South Africa myself, so at least you guys will understand my accent, and I don't have to worry too much about that. So that is a good part of it. I'm going to go to the first slide. So for the athletes, guys, I understand that you are athletes, and I understand that your athletics is very, very important, but you need to know that this process and this pathway is academics first, sports second, because we need you to get your degree. You're going to go to university in the USA to go and study. So you need to understand that. You need to know that this is not going and playing full-blown professional sports from the get-go. You may kind of form your pathway to go and play professional sports in the USA, which is something I will talk to you about a bit later. But I need you to understand that this is really, really important that you want to go out there and study. And the good thing about the American system, and again, I'll talk about it later, is that you can study whatever you want to study. You can go out there and you can study to become a lawyer. You can study to become a doctor, as long as you can get into that university. Okay, so that's very important, and I hope most of you guys are on here to learn about studying and to understand the process of studying in the USA. Okay, so a bit about myself. My name is Michael Michaelides. I am the director of BRUSA Sports Global. We are a global agency. We are based, so our headquarters are out here in the UK, but we do have headquarters out in South Africa, in Johannesburg. We've got some scouts out in Cape Town and Durban. We also operate out in New Zealand, and then obviously we operate throughout Europe. But our main business is out here in the UK and South Africa. And the reason for that is that we are South Africans. We are all South Africans on board, so we do understand the process. And as you can see, I was an ex-Eden Glen student, so I'm matriculated from Eden Glen, just down the road from you guys, in 2003. So a long time ago. Most of you guys were probably born a year or two before I matriculated. So, yep, I am an Edenvale boy. And just a bit about my experience as well. I played professional football for Morocco Swallows. So straight out of high school, out of Eden Glen, I went on to play at Morocco Swallows for 2 years. I played under the current Kaizer Chiefs coach, Gavin Hunt. And I had a good 2 years. But that way I kind of figured out that I wasn't going to be the full-blown pro. I wasn't going to be the next Cristiano Ronaldo, and I wasn't going to have a full-blown career out of it. And I decided that I needed to really push into the academic side. I wanted to get a degree, and I wanted to find out what the best way to do that was, and that was the USA. I found out that people came and spoke to me, and I kind of did the whole recruitment process on my own, which took me forever. It took me around about a year and a half to get out to the USA. And I had the best time there. I was there on a full-ride soccer scholarship. I went to a university in Tennessee, just outside of Nashville, called Cumberland University. And I had a really good career there. And I tell you what, when I compare the level of soccer out in South Africa and I compare it out to the college, and then the college world out in the US, it's very, very similar in the professional world. So you compare it to the NFD, you compare it to the PSL, the facilities, the type of football you're playing, the level of football that you play is surprisingly very similar to the PSL and very similar to the NFD out in South Africa. And that's kind of the soccer level. Obviously, the other sports are exactly the same. So I was an all-conference student athlete, so I did pretty well in the classroom. And that's something that I also want you guys to know is that I wasn't an all-A student. I was kind of pushing my 50s, 60s. I was, kind of C, B average student. But yet I did really well at university because I figured out what I wanted to study. And then just a quick one on the working experience that I have out in the kind of in the world right now is that I was able through this global degree, to work out in South Africa. I worked at some very big agencies out in South Africa. I worked out in the States, and I've worked out in Europe/England. So I'm a proof that it is a globally recognized degree, and that you can get jobs anywhere you like. People do see this as a top degree if you get it out from the States. Okay, so a quick one about who we are as BRUSA Sports. We are a education/sporting consultancy. We are not agents. We do not help you become a professional athlete. We help you to get out to the USA or Canada to go and study and to play your sport. We make sure that the student comes first. Guys, we are very, very transparent, and we are a very personal agency. We work with the students and the families, number one. That is the most important fact and the most important part of what we do, is that we're working with the families to make sure that the student, is comfortable, and that the family is very, very happy. Because if you guys aren't happy, if the family is not happy, you're not going to have a good 4 years. You're not going to have a good experience. So that's what we really pride ourselves on, is that we are personal and we are there from the start to the finish. And as you can see, we are focused on the athlete. So we work hard to make sure that you're put into the right place for your sports, but obviously as well for your academics. And as I said, we are with you all the way from start to finish. So now you can see our 3 pillars of success for our students. And this is very, very important that you understand that this is how it works with us. Is that number one, we want to make sure that your academics are perfect. So we want to make sure that when we place you out in the USA, we place you in the right university for your academics. We're not going to place you at a university where you're going to really struggle, or at a university where they don't have your degree, or a university that you're going to, I guess, cruise through and not really enjoy your degree that you've achieved. We want you to enjoy that 4 years, but number one is your academics. So we make sure we place you at the right university for your academics. The second pillar that we have, and that we make sure is a perfect fit, is your sporting ability and your sport, your athletics, as you'll hear me through the whole presentation say. This is very important as well, guys. We want to put you in a university that is very much to your level, or at slightly above, where you can push yourself to get better. But we're not going to place you at a university where you're out of your depth. So we're not going to place you at a university where, if you are a soccer player, I'll use soccer as an example, and you're going to go out and play there, and you've got the whole US under-19 national team. We're not going to put you at that university. You're not going to get a starting spot there. You're not going to be able to fight for your place the first year. And we want you to be able to fight for your place from start to finish. So that's where the athletics is very important. We also don't want to put you in a conference that you're going to be too strong in, or in a university where you're going to be too strong. So we really want to find that perfect fit on the athletic side as well. Now, on the social geographical side, this is where we talk to you as a person. Are you comfortable? And I know that you guys are all coming from Joburg, so you're very comfortable in a fairly big city/town. And we look at placing you somewhere where you are comfortable. So socially, and then geographically, the US is massive. All 50 states. You got the East Coast, you got the West Coast, you got South, you got the South, you got the North. We want to make sure that when we place you, you're comfortable. If you don't like the cold, well, you're not going to go to North Dakota. If you don't like humidity, you're not going to go to Florida. You're not going to go to the bottom side of Texas. So we put all 3 pillars together, and with that, we then find that middle ground. And within that middle ground, you're going to get a lot of universities. Now, in the States, there are over 4,500 universities, and we make sure to help you find the perfect university for you as a student athlete. So for your studies and for your sport. And that's what we do. We work on our 3 pillars. There is an overarching, I guess, cover over all of these, and that is your budget. That is what kind of we talk to the family about, talk to your parents about, and we make sure that the university we're taking you to or we're going to get you into fits into your budget as well. You're not going to get a full scholarship straight off the bat, or 99% of the time you won't get a full ride scholarship. So we want to make sure that the scholarships we get you fit in your family budget and what you have planned for education, for tertiary education once you're out of high school. So that is the overarcher, and that is what we help you kind of with. Okay, so this is just stages through the process. We'll give you an assessment. We'll then make sure that once you're happy, you'll get an evaluation. You'll have a meeting with either one of us, and then you'll go on to signing the agreement. We start the profile. We register you for the NCAA, highlights, your test scores. We go through this whole process with you all the way till the end, all the way till the day you graduate university. We are with you. Okay. Now, we work with a lot of schools and a lot of associations. We are small, so we do not accept just anyone. We work with all levels of students and athletes, because we know there's a level for everyone out in the USA. So you don't have to be an all-A student to get an academic scholarship. You also don't have to be playing national or provincial level to get sports scholarships. There are places out there that will take you. Yes, your scholarships might not be as big, but you can still go and enjoy 4 years of international sports and international studies, which is really, really important. So we are with you from evaluation all the way through to the day you kind of graduate your undergrad, and then if you want to study postgrad, we're with you through those next few years, and that's a whole another process that we'll take you through if that is where you decide to go. Okay, so this is just a quick slide for everyone. It's very interesting. This is based on USA students. This is ratios of athletes in their various sports, and just shows you how, even if you don't even get a scholarship and you get to play in the USA, how privileged you are and how much of an honor it is to play in the USA collegiate system. So from high school student athletes, 7.2 million of them out in the USA, only 7% move on to the NCAA, and that's quite a small number, and that you have to kind of count yourself very lucky if you do get to move to the NCAA. So these are a few numbers that you can take a look at. I will be giving a presentation to Mr. Riskovitz, and he can kind of send it out to you guys, and you can take a look at it. But take a look at these numbers and understand that just moving on to the collegiate world, moving on to, if you get to play professional sports, you're very, very lucky, and you're part of a very small number. Well, here we go. Here's Ohio State Stadium. This is one of the best stadiums out in the US, and this is a college stadium. This is to come and watch 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds, 20-year-olds, and 21-year-olds play American football. So, guys your age, guys that you are currently kind of going to school with that right now, will be playing in front of this many people. So I think it's amazing. I love looking at these pictures and saying, this is an opportunity for South African students to get out there and to go and play on a world stage, and to play and enjoy their sporting careers. Okay, now we're going to talk about a bit of academic stuff before we get into the sporting side of things. There are universities out in the USA, and we make sure that we find the perfect university for you. So you could be going to a public university, a state university. These are pretty much your bigger universities. Normally, they're the ones that are governed by the government. They're given funds by the US government to carry on, functioning as they do. They normally do have the best facilities. Their tuition is generally lower for American students, but not always for international students. So that's something that you need to make sure that you look at when you look at US universities, is that some state universities can be a lot more expensive than public and private universities. Private universities are obviously supported by student tuition, very popular for international students. They have their own type of scholarships. So they are allowed to have as many scholarships as they like. Right, academic, they give out athletic, they give out international, they give out a whole bunch. There's a whole bunch there, and that's part of our process that we help you find those perfect scholarships to bring your costs down in the end. Then you've got, very interesting, is junior and community colleges. Now, these are 2-year colleges that you will, once you graduate, you get your associate's degree from. Now, these are not what you look at in South Africa and you think that these are your lower level colleges that because you couldn't get into a WITS or a UJ or UCT that you now have to go to. It doesn't work like that. Guys, these universities are awesome. They are used, if you use them correctly, they can help you get in the best universities in the USA, and they can help you get there through bigger scholarships. These universities are or these colleges, I should say, are normally cheaper, smaller, but they do accept, because they're only 2 years, you're not competing against a lot more students to get these places. You know, you're kind of 3 and 4 and fourth year students. So we look at these colleges. If your grades are a bit lower, if you just aren't there on your athletic side, and we place you there and we help you through that whole process while you're at that junior college. We are there with you, talking to your coach to get you into your dream university for your last 2 years. Okay, so that is your junior and community colleges. Then, university and college, as you'll hear me talking, university and colleges are used across the board. So if I say college, it means the same as university. Again, it's not like SA where it's kind of, where when you use college, again, it's below a UCT or it's not. They're exactly the same. There's just a few differences on the postgraduate level, but that's nothing for you guys to worry about right now. Okay, so education sports. Education, being a top student is obviously one of the big requirements out in the USA. You have to be a good student to play your sport. You don't have to be an A student, but you have to be a good student in keeping your grades up, because if you don't keep your grade up, you're not going to be able to play your sport, which is part of the whole process. And I love this. I love the USA for in the way that they use their education and making sure that you keep your grades up to go and play your sport. Obviously, on the education side, tutors and assistants is made available to the athletes to make sure that you are covered out there with your education. And it's one of the best educational systems kind of globally. Athletics, going over to USA is an honor to go and play your sport. Normally you're offered your year-by-year scholarships. So you're offered almost a contract to go and play your sports out in the USA. The university sport is probably the highest amateur sports you're gonna play globally. So if you are out there, you are going to be playing against the best in the world. You're not going to be playing kind of what you see now out in South Africa with your university system. It is pretty much the best globally. So if you want to compete against the best, the USA is the place to be. And then at the end, you got your student athletes. So a student athlete is that whole package put together, and they make sure to help you get that package and make sure to help you keep your grades up, keep your sports up, and keep it going. Okay, so altogether, being a student athlete, you're going to have the best university experience. You're going to be able to create memories with friends that last a lifetime. Friends that I have from university are still my friends now. We network together, and this is the great thing, is that I've got friends from Brazil, from China, that I played in the same team with. And we are mates now. If COVID ever kind of lifts, we go and we visit each other. We go to Portugal, we go to Brazil, we go to China, all these countries to go and visit each other and just go on holiday. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the education system. In the US, you have got what they call the liberal arts philosophy. Now, this is a lot different to the SA education system. What the liberal arts philosophy helps you with is that it allows you to study whatever you want to study. You're going to go into university and you're going to study a very general first and second year, because they want to make sure that you're studying what you want to study. So, although it is a 4-year academic year compared to 2 years in South Africa, you are studying your first year to make sure that this is what you want to do. You're going to go very general, and then you're going to go and you're going to concentrate on your subject that you want to concentrate on. And that helps guys who are undecided. So also, choosing your subjects in grade 10 is a big thing out in South Africa, but that doesn't really hamper you in the USA. So if you wanted to become a doctor and you didn't take biology, for example, you can still go and become a doctor. It's just up to you to really catch up your biology and catch up all your subjects and work hard in university. So another big thing about this is then students decide your major, which will then be 50% of your classes in your third and fourth year. And then another big thing is that you can minor in another subject that you decide to take. So like I did business management as my major, and then I minored in business marketing, which was very useful for me in the business world. The admissions criteria out in the US that universities use. So they're going to use your academic, so obviously your school reports and your from grade 9 all the way through to matric. They will then also use your standardized scoring, so your SATs and your ACTs, which I'll talk about a bit later, recommendation letters from teachers, written essays, and obviously, if you're a leader, if you participate in community and extracurriculars, that really helps in getting into a USA university. Financial aid out in the USA, there are different types of financial aid, so you can get that from scholarships, like academic, like athletic. You can get that, in a form of a grant if you are lucky enough to get that. And then you can also get that via part-time work on the university campus. You can get work study, as they call it, and that is you can get up to 20 hours a week, and you can cover about $2,000 of your tuition if you like to do that. Now, standardized testing, as I was saying, this is your SATs and your ACT. The most popular in South Africa is the SAT. And this is something that is a standardized test. It is written throughout the world at the same time and the same test. And you get graded and you get marked on your percentages against how other students did. And the NCAA uses the SAT and the ACT for their eligibility process. The NAIA also uses that. And mainly for admissions. Right now, because of COVID, they've taken the requirements for the tests away, and they have now made it more for your scholarship. So you can receive scholarship for SATs and ACTs for good scores. Okay, so GPA description, we can talk about that a bit later. Well, if you guys are interested, we can work out your GPA and work out exactly how well you are doing and help you to improve and kind of help you to grow get your GPA to be where it has to be. If you start this process with us, we do help you through that. The GPA really is your average of your academic results. Okay, so University of Southern Florida, that's one of the universities we've placed someone at in the past. Right, now, the recruiting timeline. We work with students from as if you are graded to 9 is not a problem, that is fine. What we will do is assist you until grade 10, and then we'll take you on board from grade 10 onwards. And then we start the process in grade 10. Grade 11 and grade 12 is when we really talk to the universities for you. But in grade 10, we start your profile, make sure you're on track. You'll complete the agreements. We do everything. We make sure we tick these boxes for you as you're going through your high school, as you go through your classes and your years, making sure that we're assisting you through that. All right, now we can talk about the sports. So the associations that we work with in sports are the NCAA, the NAIA, and the NJCAA. Now, what we spoke about before with regards to public universities, private universities, and your smaller junior colleges, the NCAA normally governs your state schools. That's what normally happens out there. They divide it into Division 1 and Division 2. Now, Division 1 and Division 2 aren't necessarily what you feel. Division 1 is going to be the best university, and Division 2 is going to be below that. It doesn't work like that. Division 1 and Division 2 are separated by finances that they get. They are separated by facilities, and they really are worked out via the American football and basketball program. Okay. So if you end up going to Division 2 school, you might actually be at a better program than a Division 1 school, but it just fits you better. So that is one of the important parts, is making sure that going into Division 1 or Division 2 school fits you as a student athlete. The NAIA, that is a bunch of smaller private universities normally, and they are normally, as I say, your smaller, more international-based universities. They are very athletic, student athletes focused, and they do take a lot of international students on board. And it is a very high level of athletics out in the NAIA. The NJCAA, as I explained, is the National Junior Collegiate Athletic Association. They are there to govern the junior college or play NJCAA if you go into the college out in the US. So NJCAA plus universities and colleges, NAIA has not closed 500 university colleges, and the NJCAA has now closed on 800 plus colleges out there. Yeah. As a student athlete in the US, and you're going out and studying out there, you are going to be a professional athlete. You're going to be getting scholarship, which in essence is getting paid a salary. They're going to want you to perform like a professional athlete. So if they're going to ask you to perform like a professional athlete, you're going to live the lifestyle of a professional athlete. And that's the really cool thing about the US. You're going to go out there, you're going to train early morning, you're going to have your weight trainings, you're going to have your specialized training sessions, your rehab and recovery sessions, video sessions. So it really is a professional lifestyle, and it's getting you ready. This is a good way to find out, are you ready for the professional world, and are you going to do well in the professional world at the same time as getting your degree, which is very, very important, and helps you as in the professional world get a job. If you ended up not going professional, you have that degree behind you. So that's where it helps you. Another really good stadium is Boise State. This is a fantastic university. Been lucky enough to have there a few times. Very colorful and a great student atmosphere. Now, a normal day in the life of a student, this is something that we would definitely make sure that you're ready for. Your 6 o'clock training session, your day will start around 6 o'clock when you're in season. You'll go out for a gym or a training session. This will be prepared for you. You know, you will have kind of protein bars ready for you. You're going to have your protein shakes done, and then you're going to hit that training session and kind of hopefully hit it as well as you can. Then from there, you're going to go to breakfast, which you're going to have a nutritionist. They're going to make sure that you are eating the right types of food. They're going to make sure that you have the right types of food wherever you are eating, whether that be on campus or in your home if you are off campus. From there, you're going to start the important part, which is your classes. You're going to go to a class, probably early morning class. Then you're going to have a 9 o'clock class. And depending on your schedule, then you will either have 2 more classes or you're going to go to lunch, which again is going to be prepared for you. So from there, you might go into a tutor session or a tutor class. And then you're going to go into your proper training session, which will be around 4 o'clock. And that's where everyone's going to get together, and you're going to kind of work on your video sessions as well. Maybe have your team meetings. 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, you're going to have dinner. Although I say relax, you are probably going to go and study. Go to study hall, or go to a tutor with go study with a tutor if you need that, or just go and do your homework. So, that is a daily life in a student athlete. I enjoyed it, and I'm sure this is really what you guys are used to at Jeppe. So now we've got just some interesting facts, guys. These are some professional athletes who went through the NCAA and through the college life. You got your likes of Michael Jordan, Clint Dempsey, Michael Phelps, Tiger Woods. So there is an opportunity to go out and play professional sports once you have finished your college degree. A pretty cool fact is that 74 medals at the Winter Olympics in 2018 belong to student athletes. So student athletes who participated in the Olympic Games in 2018 were actually NCAA members, which they were at university and they were winning gold medals at the Olympics. So those are the type of people you will be competing against, and those are the type of people that you're going to want to compete against, and you're going to want to really test your skills against, and that's definitely something that I found very exciting. Some of the stadiums that you're going to play in, Michigan, 106,000 seater, Ohio State, 102,000. So that is just your university stadiums, and playing in front of that many people is exciting for anyone. This is a baseball stadium. This is a typical baseball game in the Division I level. They definitely love it, the American pastime, and you can always go if you don't play baseball. If you do play baseball, go and watch one of these games, which is a real good experience. So I'm not going to really concentrate too much on the college requirements. This is something, if you are interested, guys, get in touch with us. You will have our email. You can ask Mr. Riskovitz if he can put you in touch with us, and we'll explain this to you. We'll let you know which division you kind of would fit in perfectly, whether it's Division I, whether it's Division II, or whether it's the NAIA. So there are just some requirements, and they do get a bit technical, but we are there to help you through that whole process and figuring out which one it is. Those are just some of the schools at the NAIA. That's the junior college universities. Okay, this is something that you will find out is quite interesting. The sports that we work with on the NCAA level, you can see them, and I know that Jeppe is a top high school in most of these. Your cross country, your field hockey is only for the girls, unfortunately. Soccer, water polo, basketball, temp bowling. If you're a temp bowler, we can get you scholarships. Gymnastics, rifle, swimming and diving, baseball, golf, rowing, track and field. Right across the spectrum, guys. We can help you in any of these sports. So if you are an athlete in any of these sports, do let us know. Do fill out an evaluation form on our website, and we can see if we can assist you and get you out to the US as soon as possible. So a big question I get from families is, why does the US give international students scholarships? Something you have to look at, guys, is that US coaches are under pressure. They need to win. So if they need to win, they're going to get the best athletes. And the best athletes, obviously, are international students. And they will go and recruit from all countries throughout the globe to try and get the best athletes that they can get. And that's why they offer scholarships to international students. So, obviously being a soccer playing country like South Africa is, we have very good soccer players, and they really like our soccer players. They like our baseball players. They definitely like our swimmers. That is a big sport for American colleges. So this is just going through some of the facilities out in the US. Obviously, that building that you can see on this presentation is a purely sports facility. That's where the gym is, where the sporting directors and coaches have their offices. And then obviously you can see the fields, and those are all training fields. That is on the Great Lakes, which is an amazing place to go and visit. Some game fields that you can see, obviously, as we spoke about, Michigan, 109,000 seater. There's a soccer field on the right-hand side. Other game fields, there's your basketball stadiums, another Wake Forest stadium on the left-hand side for soccer. And these are your locker rooms and your practice and your match day locker rooms, guys. So these are the type of facilities that you get as a student athlete. Some of the rowing facilities, I know that we have some rowers out at Jeppe. You can see that they have the best of the best. You have everything that you need to have. They have there for you. Some different facilities. So if you are an ice hockey player, I know there are some ice hockey grounds or stadiums out in South Africa. If you do play ice hockey, this is one of the stadiums you can play in. These are the swimming pools. So you've got the top of the best of the best facilities out there for you as a student athlete. Obviously, they're going to look after you as a student athlete. If you do get injured, there are workout and athletic training facilities. So you've got your rehab, your physios, your surgeons, your doctors. If you need anything, they make sure that you can perform at your best, and they will look after you. And they will look after you to the best of their abilities and make sure that you get back onto the field as soon as possible. Some more athletic training, ice baths. guys, when you work out, you actually get your own gym as student athletes at most universities. That is the football gym at LSU. So there are a few racks there, and the guys work out. Again, you're gonna have your own strength and conditioning coach. You're gonna have your own kind of nutritionist and personal trainer that's going to make sure that you are at your best that you can be for the university. So this is some chill out rooms for the players. As you can see, there's some pool tables, and this is where you get to go and relax with your teammates and kind of chill away from the normal student population, because they're going to want to be around you all the time. You are a minor celebrity when you are a student athlete out in America. So, these are places that you can go and chill at and kind of relax. Now, this is a big thing that you need to take into consideration when we look at universities for you. Do you want your smaller classrooms? Do you want your larger classrooms? We really look at this in a very specific way for you as a person and as a student. If you like your smaller classrooms, if you prefer to be in a classroom of 10 to 20 people, this is kind of where you're going to be. I'm not sure if you guys are there. Hello? Just let me know if you are still there. Hello? So you guys, I think I've lost you. I'm not too sure what's just happened there. I can only see myself right now.